Alright guys, so we're back with the S13. I ended up finishing putting the fenders on last night. That's about as far as I could go because I had to go and pick up the motor. Here's the spare SR20. It's had a fresh rebuild on it. It hasn't been ran or anything. So this is what's going to be going into the S13. The reason being is because this one has a very suspicious noise and it sounds a lot like rod knock. So what my plans is yank the motor out, and then this motor I'm actually gonna take apart, look at the rod bearings, look how bad they are, and then probably end up building this motor just so I have a spare. So even though I already have a spare over there that's sitting over there, but I'll have this one ready to go if that one ever decides to take a crap on me. So that's one of the things I have to do. But today what I'm going to be doing is focusing more on the rear brakes. I'm going to get the cables all routed. Right now they're sort of routed, so, and there's not really any good descriptions on how to route them and stuff online. So we'll see if I can get them going. After that, I'm gonna try to see if on this side too, if I could fix this brake line right here. I don't know if you guys could see it where my finger is, right there. So I just have to put a fitting on it and flare it, and then I can put the brake line on. Then I can put the rotor or the calipers on, and the next thing I would have to do would be to replace the master cylinder with the Z32 master cylinder, and then I'd be able to bleed the brakes, and then I could have brakes to be able to stop. That's important, stopping. So here's the motor. These are the rear calipers I'll be putting on. There's a lot of stuff. This looks like a Go Fat Spitz, a blow-off valve. I wonder how this sounds. We're eventually gonna also relocate the battery to the back. This is the battery box that my buddy bought. We're gonna do that as well, but slowly but surely we're coming along. We're gonna get this thing back to being roadworthy and back to being stylish on the road. Alright guys, so I got the crash bar on. I cut a little bit right there because it was hitting right here on the intercooler piping, so I made a little clearance. It's just mocked up. It's just to see what it would look like, but I try to fit the bumper on, and it's actually hitting right here on this because it runs right across here. So I would have to either take these off, cut this down, shave this maybe, because the tubing is pretty thick. See, and it's hitting right on the corners. So as of right now, I think I'm just gonna run without the crash bar, so I don't have to modify these. I'll just take it off, have it somewhere for the future. Maybe I get a different bumper or something, and then I can slap this on, have it all secured and everything, because the bumper isn't really that hard to take off anyways. And I would want to get that piece powder coated so it doesn't rust, or just paint it, whichever. But I'm gonna take it off and just put the bumper on. Alright, let's do that right now. Alright guys, so we're back with the S13. I'm calling it a night now. I ended up putting in the rear calipers, both of them. I did end up fixing that line that was broken. I added the stainless steel braided line from that line to the caliper. I also set the preload, and I'd adjusted the height to make the coilovers even on both sides. And I had to swap these arms out because they were on the wrong way, so I had to do that as well. Got the e-brakes. The e-brake is still not hooked up. I need to make a bracket to be able to mount the cables onto, but I checked to make sure that both this side and the other side match the components on the inside, like the shoes and the springs and everything. I made sure all that matched. Still gotta tighten this nut, the axle nut on this side right here, and put the locking castle nuts and the cotter pins. Gotta do that, but looking good. I found out that both of these, the rear calipers, are actually from like a 350Z, because I checked the pads and that's what it ended up coming up to. So as you can see, all this is nice and tidy right now. I should be able to tomorrow put in the master cylinder, and then I'd be able to bleed the brakes, because the fronts I don't have to do anything with. Those were already done. The only thing I have to do is tie that cable down to the bracket right there, so it's out of the way, so it doesn't get damaged or anything. But other than that, this front is already done. The other side is all done, so I'll have to do that. I didn't put the front bumper on because I was thinking if I were to put it on, it might get in the way when I go to take out the motor. So I'm just gonna leave it off for now, and then when I take out the motor and everything's all done, I'll put the bumper back on, because it makes it a lot easier to diagnose if there's any leaks or anything. So I'll just leave it like that. But slowly but surely, we're coming along. All right guys, catch you later.